Chapter 21 Sister Xiaoya, can you help me practice? You are listening at novelfull.audio. It was already late at night, and the soul guide lamp was emitting a faint light, illuminating the young girls on the dining table. Xiao Yuhao, it's so delicious. Tanya's cheeks were stuffed, like a little hamster. Sister Xiaoya, you'd better swallow what's in your mouth before picking up other dishes. Huo Yuhao helplessly held Tanya's chopsticks with his chopsticks. He felt that Tanya might be choked to death if he didn't stop her. It's okay, I can eat it. Tanya didn't care. Sister Xiaoya, thank you for helping me protect the law today. Huo Yuhao thanked her. It should be. Tanya waved her hand to tell Huo Yuhao not to pay attention, and then asked curiously, Xiao Yuhao, what have you realized? Huo Yuhao recalled his feelings at that time and replied, I think I have understood the direction of my cultivation in the future. You also know that I have better control over my mental power, but I have neglected to exercise my soul power, and I am a bit too dependent on it. I have gained some spiritual power. I have also gained some insights into the application of spiritual power, the control of soul power, and multitasking, and I also have some insights into soul skills. Tanya suddenly felt that what she was eating was a bit unappetizing. Why could he learn so many things about cooking? I'm so envious, why doesn't she have such a high level of understanding? Tanya took a vicious bite of the rabbit leg, turning her grief and anger into appetite. Sister Xiaoya, do you think it would be feasible for me to sell these recipes to any restaurant in Shrek City? Huo Yuhao suddenly asked. This was his purpose for asking Tanya and Bebe out today. This was how he made his first money in Star Luo City. Tanya thought for a moment and then solemnly said, it's feasible, but most people don't have cooking skills like you. But you should still be able to make a lot of money. Let's do it. I'll be busy tomorrow, and I'll accompany you to various restaurants the day after tomorrow. Ask. Can't you see that Sister Xiaoya is still quite reliable when she is reliable? Huo Yuhao looked at Tanya, who looked serious and couldn't help but smile and thanked. Then thank you, Sister Xiaoya. As for the cooking skills, actually following the recipes won't be too bad, and I can train those chefs for a few days. But it also depends on what price they can offer. Making money is for training, and you can't delay it just to make money. Practice. Tanya said with a serious face, Xiao Yuhao, sister, I'm relieved if you can realize this. You have to remember that cultivation is the foundation of everything. The purpose of cooking, making money, etc. is just to make you better practice. Finally, I'm full. Tanya, who had eaten and drank enough, stretched out, revealing her beautiful budding figure. Seeing that it was already late at night, Tanya said a little annoyed, it's already so late. It seems that I can't go back tonight. I can only go back to school early tomorrow morning. In Tanya's phoenix eyes, a faint darkness flashed across her eyes. Tanya quietly came to Huo Yuhao's side, her breath slapped Huo Yuhao's cheek, and she said softly, bad brother, practice well at night and don't have any wrong ideas. Sister, I am the soul master now. When Huo Yuhao saw some changes in Tanya's temperament, he knew that Tanya's martial spirit, dark blue silver grass, was affecting Tanya again. So, was Tanya tempting him or warning him just now? Huo Yuhao was too lazy to delve into it, it was meaningless. Sister Xiaoya, I just can't go back to school tonight, can you help me practice? Tanya tilted her head, how can I help? Huo Yuhao looked troubled, there's something wrong with my martial spirit. I don't know what's going on. I can't control my mental power as soon as I come into contact with a girl, making her act weird. Sister Xiaoya, what are you doing? I have experienced it too. I only know one girl, Sister Xiaoya, in Shrek. Can Sister Xiaoya help me find out what happened to my martial soul? Tanya's face turned solemn, is that so? Problems with Wuhuan are not a small problem. They should be solved as soon as possible. Xiao Yuhao, how should I help you? If you can't wait until class starts, ask the teacher. Huo Yuhao smiled shyly, I want to know what this is about first. I still don't know how martial arts affect others, so we can just have physical contact like in the Star Forest. I need to be careful. Only by understanding my mental abnormality can I know the solution. Let's get in touch. Tanya's expression was a little reluctant, and there was a hint of expectation in her eyes. After hesitating for a moment, Tanya stretched out her hand, closed her eyes, and said as if she was about to die, Huo Yuhao, come on. But don't tell Bebe about this, just treat it as a secret between the two of us. Of course Huo Yuhao agreed with a smile on his face, looking at the pretty girl with her eyes closed and her long eyelashes fluttering in front of him. Huo Yuhao was not in a hurry to hold her hands. Huo Yuhao slowly grabbed Tanya's wrist through his clothes, held it in front of his eyes, and carefully looked at the girl's delicate hands. The girl's fingers are long and thin, like the tips of new bamboo shoots after the rain. The jade hands are as delicate as catkins, making people want to hold them in their mouths. Huo Yuhao gently connected his palm with the girl's jade hand, interlacing the jade fingers and joining them together. Tanya's exquisite body slowly leaned into his arms. The night covered up the touching voice. It can only be said that people's physiques cannot be generalized. Wang Dong'er lost consciousness soon after contact, but Tanya was able to remain half-conscious. Huo Yuhao only shook hands for 30 seconds and did nothing else. He is not in a hurry. Ma Di once said that attacking the city is the bottom priority and attacking the heart is the top priority. Huo Yuhao felt that it was always a good idea to join the army. If what he wanted was a night of pleasure, Huo Yuhao would naturally not miss such an opportunity, but that was not the case. He wanted to see Tanya's fall, but not completely, but only for him. Girls like that are the most attractive, like poppies that bloom only for you, so, stop when it's time to stop. He had seen similar things in his previous life. Get involved in the girl's life little by little, become an important part of her life or even a pillar, and then strip the girl's original interpersonal relationships little by little, let her relatives and friends misunderstand her, not understand her, and alienate her little by little, and in the end, she will find that she can only rely on you, and other people pay attention to her only because of you. At this time, you are everything to that girl. Afterwards, Huo Yuhao carefully checked Tanya's physical condition and found that there was nothing wrong, so he placed Tanya on the only bed. He returned to the Sea of Spirit and saw that the solidification task of the Soul Master column had been completed, and nodded with satisfaction. The night was long, and Huo Yuhao sat cross-legged on the ground and fell into meditation. Tanya's eyelids moved slightly, and she glanced at Huo Yuhao, who was sitting cross-legged on the ground in meditation, and put down her worry. She could only do this much, and any more would be unfair to Bebe. As for holding hands, it doesn't count. Tanya unconsciously clamped her round jade legs that seemed to be shining with water, and fell into a deep sleep in a daze. The next morning, Bebe paced back and forth at the entrance of Shrek Academy, looking anxious. In the morning, he learned that Tanya did not return to the dormitory last night, and Tanya and Huo Yuhao went to Shrek City again. Did something happen? He immediately rushed to the school gate without stopping. Before he could wait for a moment, Bebe saw Tanya and Yuhao's younger brother walking over from a distance, talking and laughing. Tanya also saw him, waved to him from a distance, and ran back quickly. Xiaoya, are you all right? It's all right. I'm telling you, Yuhao entered a state of enlightenment while cooking yesterday, and didn't wake up until the morning. I could only protect him from the side. But I also had a very delicious meal. Yuhao cooked a lot and put them all in the soul guide, just in time for the morning. You have taken it orally. Tanya pulled Bebe to talk about this and that, and in a few words, she explained the reason why she didn't go back to the dormitory, without any abnormality. Speaking of food, Tanya couldn't help swallowing hard. Looking like a foodie, Bebe breathed a sigh of relief and said lovingly, You only know how to eat. Then the three of them had breakfast together, and Bebe also saw Huo Yuhao's cooking skills and was greatly impressed. Then they said goodbye to each other. Chapter 22 Exposed. You are listening at novelfull.audio. There were still a few days before the official start of classes, and Huo Yuhao still didn't know which class he was assigned to, so he decided to go to the notice office to see if the class assignment notice had been released. Huo Yuhao didn't have any requirements for being assigned to a class. He just hoped that he wouldn't be assigned to Zhou Yi's class like in the original book. It didn't matter if he was assigned to one. Regarding Zhou Yi, Huo Yuhao's evaluation of her was that she was not very capable, had a lot of things to do, and had a bad temper. To put it simply, her virtue did not match her. Educating students will only adopt oppressive or even forced education. It is called a strict and responsible teacher, but Huo Yuhao has never seen a responsible teacher in his previous life who expelled all students with problems. Of course, if he is assigned to Zhou Yi's class, Huo Yuhao has no intention of helping Shrek Academy clean up the garbage. Instead, he hopes that Zhou Yi can work more carefully, so that he can successfully win people's hearts and prepare for poaching people. Huo Yuhao has already planned to establish his own power in the future, and the team of the power can only recruit people from Shrek Academy. If all the people in Shrek Academy are good people, how can he poach people? Flies don't bite seamless eggs. Huo Yuhao only hopes that Shrek Academy can have more people like Zhou Yi and the great elder Xuanzi of the Holy Spirit sect. When Huo Yuhao arrived at the announcement area, he saw a crowd of people gathered there from a distance, but the boy with pink-blue hair was particularly eye-catching. Huo Yuhao squeezed to Wang Dong and patted her shoulder. "What are you doing?" Wang Dong saw it was Huo Yuhao. After glaring at him, his eyes drifted away with guilt. She didn't dare to take another look at Huo Yuhao now, because she was afraid that she would think of what happened yesterday, and she was even more afraid that Huo Yuhao would think of her embarrassing appearance yesterday. She had originally planned to change into a girl and re-enroll in Shrek last night, but for some reason she had no such idea when she woke up. "You are quite good at attracting bees and butterflies. Look at the little girls around you who are secretly looking at you." Huo Yuhao bumped Wang Dong on his shoulder and motioned for her to look around. Wang Dong looked around and found that she was surrounded by girls. These girls would secretly glance at her from time to time, and hurriedly avoid her eyes when they saw her looking over. Wang Dong curled his lips and said with a cold face, "They are all a bunch of little girls. They have never seen a handsome guy like me. If you look at them more, you will get used to them. Only people with unhealthy mental health like you think there is a problem. I'm not mentally healthy, right? Wang Dong, have you forgotten that you have to listen to me now?" Huo Yuhao put his hand on Wang Dong's shoulder and said, feeling the touch on his shoulder. Wang Dong resisted the urge to push it away and said firmly, "I really want to listen to you, but you can only control my body, but you can't control my soul or change my will. I said it's a fact that you are mentally unhealthy." Having said this, the shame in Wang Dong's heart gradually faded away, thinking that the other party did not return to the dormitory last night, but he was tossing and turning all night and couldn't sleep because of what happened during the day. She hummed in a resentful tone, "How can a normal person stay up all night on the first day of school? I don't know what I was doing there. Hey, whose housekeeper are you, so resentful?" Huo Yuhao said with squinting eyes. "Ignore you." Wang Dong was like a cat whose tail had been stepped on. Whether from anger or embarrassment, Wang Dong's pretty face turned red, and with a twist of his head, he pushed forward on his own. Huo Yuhao walked leisurely on the road squeezed by Wang Dong. It wasn't too crowded. As Wang Dong moved forward, the little girls automatically helped her clear the way. Looking at these attentive little girls, Huo Yuhao couldn't help but sigh. If they knew that Wang Dong was a woman like them, some of them would probably cry. Therefore, it's not a good idea to blindly act like a licking dog. You don't even know whether they are male or female. When the two people squeezed in front of the notice board, the shift notice happened to come out. The head teacher of the first class of freshmen, Zhou Yi. It's indeed Zhou Yi. Huo Yuhao looked at the class members again. He and Wang Dong were among them, Xiao Xiao was also there, and even the 9 King Kongs in the original work were among them. Huo Yuhao had to lament the magic of fate. In this fantasy world, the butterfly effect doesn't work very well. "Do you know teacher Zhou Yi?" Wang Dong asked curiously. "I don't know him, but I have some understanding." "What kind of person is she?" Wang Dong was still curious about what kind of person the future teacher would be. "She is not an easy person to get along with. We have to be careful not to get fired by her." Huo Yuhao sighed, then stopped and looked at Wang Dong, who was aroused with a smile. "Didn't you say you would ignore me?" "You." Wang Dong was angry again. She turned around and left. She was not a spineless person. She just ignored him. This time I really ignored it. Huo Yuhao followed the angry Wang Dong and muttered to himself in a voice that Wang Dong could hear, speaking of Zhou Yi, she is completely worthy of a nickname, Master Jew. What this person likes most is to be expelled. If you disobey her, you will be expelled. If you don't finish the run, you will be expelled. She will be expelled if she is the last in the class. She will expel only 1/10 of the class she leads. You said, how can such a teacher still stay at Shrek? Of course there is a reason. Huo Yuhao looked at Wang Dong who was eavesdropping in front of him. He stopped at this point and deliberately slowed down his pace and did not follow Wang Dong. As Wang Dong listened, he noticed that there was no sound behind him. When he looked back, it turned out that Huo Yuhao had been thrown away by her. After a moment of hesitation, she pretended to stand on the roadside and look at the scenery. After Huo Yuhao passed by, he pretended to enjoy the beautiful scenery and followed behind Huo Yuhao. Huo Yuhao chuckled in his heart and continued to talk to himself, but this time his voice was even lower, and he had to be close to him to hear clearly. Wang Dong couldn't help but grit his teeth when he saw Huo Yuhao like this. But he was really curious about Zhou Yi's character, so he quietly followed Huo Yuhao closely. Speaking of this teacher Zhou Yi, although she likes to expel students, there is a characteristic of her class, that is, the data is good. Among the students who have been taught and upgraded by Zhou Yi, I heard that no one said anything bad about her, but I don't know whether this news is true or false. And among those students, 1/4 can enter the inner courtyard. Hearing this, do you think that Zhou Yi is a good teacher, but her temper is a little weird? Huo Yuhao suddenly turned around, and Wang Dong couldn't react in time and bumped into him directly. The two cheeks touched lightly. Then, Wang Dong leaned on Huo Yuhao with a breath of silk and a red face. Huo Yuhao patted his head. He was so busy teasing Wang Dong that he forgot his ability. While no one was paying attention to them, Huo Yuhao used simulation to make the two invisible in a flash. With Wang Dong in this state, Huo Yuhao didn't dare to take her to the dormitory. He didn't have the confidence to use simulation soul skills to hide from Moon's perception. If the old man saw it, who knows how perverted he would think he was, so he had to take Wang Dong to the hotel outside the college. Huo Yuhao said to Wang Dong, don't resist. I'll carry you to the hotel to change clothes. Because the contact time between the two was short this time, Wang Dong did not faint. On the contrary, she was still conscious at this time. Wang Dong couldn't help screaming in her heart, how could I be like this in public? This time I really have no face to see people, I'm tired, the world is destroyed. Wang Dong buried her head deeply in Huo Yuhao's chest, hugged Huo Yuhao and refused to let go. Only in this way could she cover her face. Anyway, she had already embarrassed herself in front of this guy, so she just hoped that others didn't see her. Wang Dong, who was extremely shy, couldn't help sobbing softly in Huo Yuhao's arms. Hey, don't cry. I have used my soul skills to make us two invisible, and no one can see us. Huo Yuhao gently patted Wang Dong's back to comfort her. Wang Dong looked up at Huo Yuhao with tears in her eyes, and her soft voice seemed full of grievances. Are you telling the truth? Huo Yuhao didn't say anything, and looked at Wang Dong with a strange expression. Girl, you are exposed, you just used a female voice. Group number, 604751344. Chapter 23 Wang Dong'er returns to women's clothing. You are listening at novelfull.audio. You. Wang Dong also realized that she was using a female voice, but in a moment of urgency, she even forgot how to change it back. She simply buried her face and lay on Huo Yuhao's chest pretending to be dumb, looking at Wang Dong who was curled up in his arms pretending to be an ostrich. Huo Yuhao laughed dumbly. Only at this time did Wang Dong reveal the tenderness of a girl. Originally, Huo Yuhao wanted to play the game of good brothers under one quilt with Wang Dong for a while, but since she was exposed, it didn't matter. Some things are more interesting to see girls. Flirting with a woman dressed as a man always makes you feel like you are gay. At least he knew in advance that Wang Dong was a girl. I don't know how the original Huo Guo turned this corner in a short time. Could it be? Huo Yuhao didn't dare to think about it. Using the simulated soul skill to cover up Wang Dong, Huo Yuhao quickly found a hotel in Shrek City. Why did you bring me to the hotel? I'm telling you, I'm not that kind of casual person. Don't mess around. I'm very strong. I'm also the young master of the Haotian sect. My first and second fathers are very powerful titled Douluo. Wang Dong covered herself with the quilt and warned Huo Yuhao in a muffled voice. She showed her strength and background in a panic, fearing that Huo Yuhao would eat her little white rabbit. I would like to take you back to the dormitory, but there is another extreme Douluo in the dormitory. I can't hide it from him. Do you want others to see your embarrassing appearance? Huo Yuhao explained. It's all your fault. Wang Dong was so angry that he hammered the bed, and his voice sounded a little aggrieved. If it weren't for you, I wouldn't be in public. Okay, blame me. Huo Yuhao said helplessly, but don't worry, you have seen the effect of my soul skills along the way. No one noticed your appearance, only I could see it. At the same time, Huo Yuhao also made a decision. Succubus body, this ability should be used in private as much as possible in the future, and try not to contact girls in public, otherwise it will really be socially dead. Huo Yuhao thinks that his morality is still quite high. Of course, if you encounter any enemy, you can only do what you have, and he won't care whether the enemy is socially dead or not. I don't have any clothes in my soul guide, please help me go out and buy a set of clothes. Wang Dong asked weakly. I don't have money. Huo Yuhao refused with confidence. He was indeed running out of money. This small hotel next to Shrek Academy actually costs 100 gold soul coins a day. The prices in Shrek City are so high. This is completely treating the students of Shrek Academy as fat sheep. Huo Yuhao has a clear understanding of the consumption level of Shrek City. 1 gold soul coin issued according to the Soul Master subsidy is probably not as good as eating hot shit in Shrek City. You know, 1 gold soul coin could allow an ordinary person to live normally for several months 10,000 years ago. Wang Dong stretched out her slender jade hand from the quilt, with a black card between her fingers. The password is. Use it. Huo Yuhao took the black card and always felt like he was being kept. When he saw the 7-digit gold soul coins in the black card when he was buying things, Huo Yuhao felt that he might be a little less moral and find a rich woman. Recalling Wang Dong's general figure, Huo Yuhao decisively bought a set of women's clothes. If I don't take this opportunity to see Wang Dong dressed in women's clothes, when will I wait? Moreover, Wang Dong can wear clothes that suit his aesthetic taste. This is a great opportunity. Men have 2 hobbies, dressing and undressing girls. White silk, high heels, pink and blue dresses, underwear, butterfly hairpins, and black neck rings. Huo Yuhao quickly selected the clothes. Back at the inn, Wang Dong saw the clothes Huo Yuhao bought, and her face turned red and she stammered. How did you buy women's clothes? Aren't you a girl? Huo Yuhao threw the clothes to Wang Dong and comforted him. Don't worry, no one can recognize you as Wang Dong, just wear them for me. Who wants to wear them for you? I'm not a woman, I make a girl's voice because. I'm anxious. Wang Dong stammered and explained, trying to struggle. Do you think I'm a fool? Huo Yuhao looked at Wang Dong with contempt. Then get out, I'm going to change clothes. Wang Dong gave up struggling and drove Huo Yuhao out of the room. Huo Yuhao waited quietly at the door. After about half an hour, the room opened a little, and a pleasant voice came out shyly. Come in. Huo Yuhao pushed open the door with expectation, and saw a stunning girl standing in the middle of the room. The girl's long pink-blue hair was draped behind her, and a pink-blue butterfly hairpin seemed to be flying. The big pink-blue eyes were clear and transparent. The girl's eyebrows were slightly drooping, like a shy bud. The pink-blue dress did not cover the girl's beautiful and delicate collarbone. The white swan neck made the girl's temperament more proud and pure, but the black neck ring next to the collarbone made this pure pride tinged with a hint of temptation and charm. The body was exquisite, especially the pair of slender and straight legs that exceeded the proportions of ordinary people. The white silk wrapped around the legs, revealing a touch of whiteness between the hems of the skirt. The white silk feet curled up restlessly in the high heels, as if they were shy, which made Huo Yuhao want to rub them. Have you seen enough? The girl's voice was shy and full of anger. I can't get enough of it. Huo Yuhao admired the beautiful scenery in front of him. Compared with men's clothes, Wang Dong dressed as a daughter was less arrogant and domineering. Huo Yuhao suddenly wanted Wang Dong to dress as a man in the future, and this beautiful scenery that belonged to his daughter would be left for him alone to enjoy. Let's go shopping. Huo Yuhao pulled the girl's sleeve and walked to the street, using the simulated soul skill to change the girl's image. What are we going to do? Wang Dong'er pulled Huo Yuhao's clothes and looked around curiously. This was the first time she strolled in the busy streets in a girl's outfit. She had been in the Haotian sect before and rarely had the opportunity to go to the city. Buy clothes, buy you a men's suit, you have to change back when we go back to the dormitory. Buy a few more women's clothes, you are so beautiful, it's a pity to dress like a boy all the time. Wear it for me in the future. Huo Yuhao smiled warmly. Who wants to wear it for you? Wang Dong'er retorted in a low voice. You are a girl, and only I know the secret now. Of course, you can only wear it for me. Huo Yuhao said as a matter of course. Why do you want to go to school dressed as a boy? Wang Dong'er frowned and thought for a while, then said, I don't know why, but I subconsciously want to do this. Maybe it's because I think it's fun to do this. She was a little uncertain. Huo Yuhao understood that it must be Tang San's fault, but he didn't know how he was sure that he would go to Shrek Academy and live in the same dormitory with Wang Dong, and in the original book, he and Wang Dong had a martial soul fusion skill, which must have been done by Tang San. In other words, either Tang San had his divine consciousness on Wang Dong'er, or the other party had done something to him when he was young and had not awakened his memory, or it was both. Huo Yuhao was not worried about Tang San's divine consciousness. As long as the other party dared to enter his body, the small light spot could teach him how to be a human being and turn into food, but if the other party did something when he was not awakened, it would be really troublesome. Tang San's tricks were completely eliminated when he awakened, and the benefits were retained. At this time, the little light sent a message that calmed Huo Yuhao's heart. The two had a good time all day. Huo Yuhao got to see Wang Dong'er's dress-up play as he wished, and also bought many decorations that Wang Dong'er thought were very troublesome. In this way, the only two people who knew each other strolled in the crowded city, which brought Huo Yuhao and Wang Dong'er's hearts closer. Chapter 24 Fantasy. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Hey, do you remember our bet yesterday? Wang Dong'er saw the fighting arena next to her, and she had the idea of beating Huo Yuhao up. After she gave him a good beating, she would see if he dared to use that kind of hooligan ability. If I don't say hello, can't you speak properly? Huo Yuhao turned around and looked at Wang Dong'er, who was eager to try and stare at him, with a bright smile on his face. Of course I remember the bet. If someone rushes to give me a benefit, wouldn't it be rude if I don't refuse it? Wang Dong'er crossed her arms and snorted coldly, don't look down on me. I will definitely beat you up today. Let's go, there is a fighting arena here, let's go in and have a fight. Wang Dong'er took the lead and walked into the fighting arena. Thinking of Huo Yuhao's shameless ability, she was afraid that she would not be able to dodge and have physical contact with him again, so the wealthy Wang Dong'er directly booked a private fighting arena. Huo Yuhao and Wang Dong'er stood on both sides of the arena. No one shouted to start, and both sides tacitly showed their soul rings and took action. Wang Dong'er was possessed by the goddess of light butterfly. A pair of blue butterfly wings spread out behind her. The colors of the two ends of the front wings kept changing from dark blue, azure blue, and light blue. The entire wing surface was like a string of bright halos inlaid in the blue sky, forming a V shape, bringing light to the world. Its shape and color are incomparable and impeccable beauty. With the shining light, Wang Dong'er's figure quickly flew towards where Huo Yuhao was. Seeing that there was only a yellow soul ring around Huo Yuhao, Wang Dong'er's confidence increased a little. Humph, it turns out that you are not even a great soul master, then I will definitely beat you up today. Huo Yuhao first launched a spiritual detection to cover the entire ring, and then used simulation to create 3 of himself and his real body to start heading towards the edge of the ring in different directions. Huo Yuhao planned to continue using the method he used to deal with the Earth Bull to cheat Wang Dong'er out of the ring. Wang Dong'er saw the 4 Huo Yuhaos and suddenly felt a little tricky. Huo Yuhao had used this soul skill in front of her before. It can simulate environments, invisibility, and illusions. If your mental power is not much higher than Huo Yuhao, you can't tell the real from the fake. Wang Dong'er didn't know which one was real, and she even thought that neither of them might be real. Wang Dong'er's 100-year soul ring lit up, winged guillotine. Wang Dong'er's butterfly wings formed sharp golden blades. Wang Dong'er didn't chase Huo Yuhao, but used the blades to cut the ground. The sharp blades quickly destroyed the surface of the ring, and stones were scattered on the ground. Wang Dong'er grabbed a stone and threw it at Huo Yuhao. It penetrated. It was fake. This one was also fake. This one, he caught the stone, it was real. Found it. Wang Dong'er's mouth corners lifted, revealing a proud smile, and flapped his wings to fly towards Huo Yuhao's real body, and Wang Dong'er obviously didn't know that people were sinister. Could Huo Yuhao let him discover his real body so easily? Huo Yuhao could easily control the phantom to avoid the stone, and even simulate the scene of the phantom catching the stone, but he did not do so, of course, for other purposes. For Huo Yuhao, the phantom is just an illusion, without combat power, and only has the function of confusing the opponent and delaying time. If he wants to defeat Wang Dong, he can only rely on other abilities. In addition, there is the most important reason. If he wants to win by tricking Wang Dong'er out of the ring, it is a bit difficult to achieve it simply through simulation. The edge of the ring suddenly expands a section. As long as you are not blind, you will be alert and will not be fooled. At this time, other soul skills are needed. During the time when the phantom was delayed, Huo Yuhao used simulation to create an illusion in the sea of spirit that was exactly the same as the ring. The illusion was exactly the same, and there was also a scene of him and Wang Dong fighting on it. His simulation range in reality is 30 meters, but there is no range limit on the size of the illusion created by simulation in the spiritual world. Moreover, simulation can only construct illusions in one's own sea of spirit, not in other people's minds. However, Huo Yuhao has another magical skill, a magical skill that Huo Yuhao completely ignored in the original work, mind sharing. After using simulation to build the illusion, mind sharing can link the opponent's mental power and pull the opponent into the illusion. Mind sharing also has a problem, that is, the opponent can easily detect it and then interrupt the sharing. At this time, Huo Yuhao let his last soul skill, soul interference, come into play. Soul interference consumes a huge amount of mental power. As the complexity of the operation and the resistance of the opponent's consciousness increase, the consumption increases exponentially. So even if Huo Yuhao's sea of mind can be called a great lake of mind now, he still only uses soul interference to do some simple operations such as mental suggestion and emotional suggestion, and will not really manipulate and modify other people's souls and consciousness. When the illusion is put into the opponent's mind through mind sharing, Huo Yuhao will use mind interference to make the opponent subconsciously ignore the connection of mind sharing, and in order not to make the opponent realize that he is in an illusion without appearing abrupt changes, Huo Yuhao has always created an illusion that is exactly the same as reality to slowly guide the opponent to immerse himself in it. The battle between Huo Yuhao and Wang Dong'er continued. Just as Wang Dong'er flew towards Huo Yuhao's real body, mind sharing activated, Wang Dong'er felt as if his mental power was connected to something. Then he found that a ring exactly the same as the real one appeared in his mind, and there was another her flying towards Huo Yuhao. Just as she was about to break the connection, she suddenly forgot about it. Her vibrating wings gradually overlapped with the self in her mind. At this moment, the illusion in her mind seemed to disappear. Wang Dong continued to fly towards Huo Yuhao, but for the same distance, Wang Dong flew a little longer than before. It was just that Wang Dong did not notice this time difference, or subconsciously ignored it. She swung the light blade on her wings to slash at Huo Yuhao and penetrated. It was a simulated illusion. Wang Dong realized it instantly. She immediately swung her wings to attack behind her, but found that Huo Yuhao did not take the opportunity to sneak attack. Huo Yuhao stood far away on the other side of the ring, with a faint smile, saying, "You lost, look at your feet, you are already out of the ring." The surrounding environment slowly changed, and Wang Dong'er found that she was indeed outside the ring. She stepped on the ground in disbelief. It was real, not a simulated illusion. Wang Dong'er raised her head and snorted coldly, "I didn't lose. Our bet is not that we lose when we leave the ring. So you want to cheat? Well, today I will make you lose with a clear conscience." Huo Yuhao said indifferently, or rather, Wang Dong'er's answer was just what he wanted. In Huo Yuhao's opinion, the female characters in several Douluo continents more or less have some admiration for the strong, so today he wanted to take the opportunity to hit Wang Dong'er hard. Otherwise, with this girl's arrogance, how can he openly open a harem in the future? If you want to enjoy the blessing of having two wives, either the girl is a love-brained person who loves you to death, or you have to be in a dominant position in terms of feelings, power, strength, financial resources, etc. You must have one of these two. Huo Yuhao hooked his finger at Wang Dong'er provocatively. Chapter 25 Battle. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Wang Dong'er picked up a stone and threw it at Huo Yuhao, and Huo Yuhao caught it. Entity, he didn't transfer. Wang Dong'er immediately realized that this was his opportunity, and the stones were overwhelming towards Huo Yuhao's location. Even if this guy moves invisibly, he will definitely be hit by stones, so that he can determine the other party's traces. Seeing the stones in the sky, Huo Yuhao still didn't move, he just blocked the stones that were about to hit him one by one. Wang Dong'er took advantage of this opportunity and flew over. Seeing that Huo Yuhao didn't run away, he couldn't help but be a little surprised. However, this was exactly what she wanted. Wang Dong'er stepped forward and hit Huo Yuhao hard with her whip leg. Huo Yuhao's eyes glowed with a faint golden light, and Wang Dong'er's every move was under mental detection, especially those long legs. Just when the whip leg was about to hit him, Huo Yuhao moved. He lightly took a step to the right and dodged Wang Dong'er's powerful and heavy blow. At the same time, he slashed his left hand towards Wang Dong'er's ankle, not forgetting to tease. "Next time you wear a skirt, I have to remind you to put on safety pants, but you can't show it to others." Wang Dong'er's face turned red with embarrassment, and she immediately retracted her right foot to avoid Huo Yuhao's attack. At the same time, he quickly retreated, trying to distance himself and use his martial arts to deal with this shameless guy. Sure enough, I shouldn't have thought about showing mercy to this bad guy just now. Huo Yuhao didn't give him a chance to pull away, and fought forward. He punched with his right hand and headed towards Wang Dong'er's face to greet him. Wang Dong'er turned her head to avoid it, struck Huo Yuhao's right arm with her left arm, and at the same time slapped Huo Yuhao's chest with her right hand. Huo Yuhao blocked Wang Dong'er's palm with his left hand. Wang Dong'er could only withdraw her right hand and use her elbow to block Huo Yuhao's attack. Wang Dong'er felt more and more aggrieved as she was being beaten up close. She could not have physical contact with Huo Yuhao, otherwise she would become weak in an instant and unable to fight anymore. However, the guy didn't have to worry at all and just attacked. Sometimes even he will deliberately try to touch the exposed parts of her skin to make her collapse, and she can only withdraw her attack to dodge. Wang Dong'er didn't want to endure it anymore. The goddess of light, Butterfly, possessed her again, and used the first soul ring, the winged guillotine. This time, the light blade was not attached to the wings of the butterfly, but together with a pair of butterfly wings, overlapped with Wang Dong'er's arms, forming there were two guillotines that were directed like arms. Wang Dong'er's left arm slashed towards Huo Yuhao. Huo Yuhao ducked back and kicked Wang Dong'er's abdomen with his right foot. Wang Dong'er's right arm swung down with the guillotine to block Huo Yuhao's attack. Huo Yuhao followed the trend and kicked hard to distance himself from Wang Dong'er. Upon seeing this, Wang Dong'er hurriedly pursued, but Huo Yuhao once again turned into three people and evacuated in different directions. Wang Dong'er followed the same pattern, and three stones shot out towards the three figures. Wang Dong'er saw two phantoms of Huo Yuhao being passed through by stones, and one reached out to catch the stones. Wang Dong'er immediately determined the location of his true body. However, what she didn't see was that the moment the stone came into contact with Huo Yuhao's palm, the stone quietly disappeared and was replaced by an identical stone, which was caught by Huo Yuhao. Wang Dong used stones to attack Huo Yuhao to determine its position, and quickly pursued it. Soon he caught up with Huo Yuhao, and Wang Dong'er slashed at the opponent with his guillotine. Unexpectedly, Huo Yuhao did not dodge, but deliberately hit the blade. The blade passed through the body and blood was sprayed. Wang Dong'er was stunned and had no time to think about why the blade didn't feel any lag when cutting the object. Her mind instantly went blank. At this moment, she was slapped on the back, and at the same time Huo Yuhao's voice came from behind, "It seems like I won again." "Oh, forget it, I don't want to win so soon, so I'll take advantage." Wang Dong'er saw Huo Yuhao in front of him disappear in an instant. At this moment, she didn't know that she had been deceived again. At this moment, Wang Dong'er's inner emotions were mixed, including great sadness, great joy, shame, and anger. She turned around and looked at Huo Yuhao, who had already retreated far away, and wanted to admit defeat. She was a person who could afford to lose, and her arrogance did not allow her to deny it even if she lost. However, before she could speak, she heard Huo Yuhao say in a mean tone, "You have to think clearly before admitting defeat. After all, if you lose, you owe me a condition. I have already thought of a good idea. If you lose, I will let you be my future wife's maid. You will be responsible for pushing the butt when we have fun. How is it? Is it very engaging?" Wang Dong'er felt angry rising up. Why is this person so mean? Admit defeat? What admit defeat? I'm going to beat him to death. For a moment, the anger overwhelmed other emotions such as shyness, joy, and was still rising. She felt that she had never been so angry. When they first met, this bastard did something bad to embarrass her, and today he embarrassed her again in public, and he always found ways to bully her. All the grievances poured out from the bottom of her heart, making her lose it. Reason. At this moment, the 1,000-year soul ring on Wang Dong's body lit up. Light of the butterfly god. The dazzling light element energy balls bombarded Huo Yuhao one after another, bombarding the arena there to pieces, and the rich light element made it impossible to see clearly what was going on there. Huo Yuhao's real body stood next to Wang Dong'er, looking at the area. He couldn't help but clicked his tongue. As expected of the original heroine, her soul skills are stronger than those of ordinary people. Huo Yuhao continued to use soul interference to guide Wang Dong'er's emotions, causing the other party's anger to pour out completely. You have to give your children a chance to vent their grievances. You can't suppress them too much, but you have to pull them and relax them in an appropriate way. Seeing that Wang Dong'er had almost vented her anger, Huo Yuhao began to slowly calm her down. Huo Yuhao stood quietly beside Wang Dong'er. He did not hide, but at this moment, the other party seemed to be completely unable to see him. It seems that Dong'er has been completely immersed in the illusion during her emotional ups and downs. All her actions now are in response to my simulation. Has the information she perceives in reality been subconsciously ignored? Huo Yuhao thought with his chin lightly lifted. Huo Yuhao roughly understood the actual effect of his illusion. When the illusion was first imposed, the information perceived was all in reality. With Huo Yuhao's interference, the other party's perception of reality would be gradually ignored, and the information in the illusion would slowly replace the information in reality until it was completely immersed in the illusion. Since the experiment has been completed, let's end it quickly. Huo Yuhao nodded. The real body walked to the place where Wang Dong'er had just bombarded and lay on the ground. In Wang Dong'er's eyes, Huo Yuhao was in tatters, with scars all over his body from being burned by light elements. He lay on the ground dying, as if his life force was about to dissipate. Wang Dong'er's anger and grievances were either vented or soothed by Huo Yuhao. At this moment, there was only regret, fear, worry, and anxiety in her heart. Wang Dong'er rushed to Huo Yuhao with tears in her eyes. You don't want to die. Why don't you dodge? Why don't you use your soul power to resist? Why don't you use your simulation? Hold on, I'll go find a healing spirit master. This is Shrek City, there must be a healing titled Douluo. Wang Dong looked anxious, hurriedly hugged Huo Yuhao, and flew to Shrek Academy. Chapter 26 The Girl's Thoughts. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Huo Yuhao buried his head in Wang Dong'er's chest, feeling the tenderness of a lotus just beginning to emerge, and listening to the girl's heartbeat as dense as drumbeats. Huo Yuhao felt the girl's nervousness and anxiety, and he said in an almost inaudible voice, "You are so worried about me. We have only known each other for 2 days." Wang Dong himself didn't know why he was so worried about Huo Yuhao. They had only known each other for 2 days, but this guy had seen all of his secrets, his embarrassing appearance, his women's clothing, etc. in these 2 days. He should have wanted him to die, but he could easily arouse her emotions, making her happy or sad. He seemed to know her very well, but he seemed to be shrouded in mist, making her curious but unable to see clearly, but these were not the main reasons why she didn't want him to die. She couldn't figure out what the main reason was, and she didn't want to figure it out now. She just wanted to fly back to Shrek Academy as soon as possible and find someone to save him. Huo Yuhao said with his dying breath, "I'm sorry, I can't control my ability that embarrassed you, but you don't have to worry about it in the future." "Shut up, don't say anything, I will definitely save you when we get to the academy." Wang Donger's speed increased a bit. "You. Shut up. Okay." Huo Yuhao enjoyed the girl's embrace comfortably. After a moment, Huo Yuhao finally couldn't help but said, "Didn't you notice that my clothes were burned and tattered, but your hand touched my wound but your ability didn't work?" Wang Dong'er was stunned. "Oh, why? Didn't you notice that there is no one in Shrek City? I thought you would find it soon." Wang Dong'er looked around and found that there was no one in Shrek City. "I won the bet." Huo Yuhao patted Wang Dong'er's shoulder gently, and then broke free from Wang Dong'er's arms. He couldn't bear to bully the girl in front of him anymore. "Let's take a break today." The scene in Wang Dong'er's eyes changed rapidly. They were still in the fighting arena. The scars on Huo Yuhao's body were gone. He stood in front of her with complete clothes, looking at her with a smile. Alas. Wang Dong'er stared at the intact and smiling Huo Yuhao in a daze. After a long time, tears in her eyes finally came out. "You bastard, is it so interesting to lie to me?" the girl asked Huo Yuhao in a crying voice. She had been trapped in the illusion, and he could easily win, but he pretended to be seriously injured to deceive her feelings and make her worry. Huo Yuhao saw the girl's tears, walked up to Wang Dong'er, put his hands on the girl's shoulders, looked at the girl with tears in his eyes gently, and said, "If I didn't lie to you, how would I know that you would worry about me so much? Knowing this makes me happier than winning a condition that you agree to everything." Since Wang Dong'er returned to her girlish appearance, she has become much weaker and likes to cry more. Wang Dong'er pursed her red lips, her pale pink eyes full of stubbornness. "I'm not worried about you. If the academy knew that I killed my classmates, I would also be punished, not because I'm worried about you." Okay, just assume that you are afraid of being punished." Huo Yuhao certainly followed the girl. "You are only worried about me, by the way." Wang Dong'er looked at the boy's bright eyes like stars, full of tenderness and love, and immediately looked away as if frightened. She slapped the boy's hand on her shoulder with her bare hands and turned around to avoid the boy's gaze. She said in a somewhat flustered tone. "Not by the way." Wang Dong'er had never seen such emotions in Huo Yuhao's eyes, which made her feel that the mist on the boy was no longer as ethereal and distant as the clouds in the sky, and it was untouchable, but like a soft and delicate gauze curtain. As long as she was willing to approach the boy, she could uncover the layer of gauze curtain that protected the boy. However, Wang Dong'er didn't know whether she should take the initiative to approach Huo Yuhao. After all, the two had only known each other for 2 days. She could not help but escape in a panic. Huo Yuhao did not know what the girl was thinking. Seeing the girl turning around in a panic, her tone was cold and arrogant, mixed with shyness and tenderness. Huo Yuhao just thought it was the tsundere of the girl. Unexpectedly, Wang Dong'er actually had the attribute of tsundere. Huo Yuhao found an unexpected surprise. Tsundere is good. Huo Yuhao likes tsundere girls to maintain their pride, reluctantly say words of rebuke, and hide their feelings. However, as long as you hit their hearts directly, their bodies will be more honest than their mouths and voluntarily open to you. What's more, when the pride of the tsundere girl is shattered, the domineering girl often reveals another passionate side. Huo Yuhao gently patted the dust left on his clothes after the battle and said, "Okay, we should go back to the academy, otherwise we have to stay in a hotel tonight." Huo Yuhao and Wang Dong'er returned to the dormitory in silence all the way. Before going back, Wang Dong'er changed her female clothes back to men's clothes. At night, Huo Yuhao summarized the gains from the battle with Wang Dong and began to meditate and practice. He also looked at Wang Dong and found that he was sleeping directly on the bed. What a lazy dog. In the original work, Wang Dong's goddess of light butterfly was a divine martial soul, and his innate soul power was probably level 20. However, Wang Dong obtained a 100-year soul ring and a 1,000-year soul ring, and his current soul power is only level 23 or 24. It can be seen that Wang Dong probably didn't practice much. There was no conversation that night. Early the next morning, Huo Yuhao prepared to go to find Xiaoya. Today, he made an appointment with Xiaoya to go to Shrek City together to see if he could sell the recipe and make some money. Huo Yuhao still remembered that the ranking engraving knife made of living gold in the Soul Master competition only cost more than 100,000 gold soul coins. He had to save enough money to buy it before the Soul Master competition. Since he had planned to leave Shrek and create his own power in the future, he would not owe Shrek any favors. When Huo Yuhao was about to leave, he found that Wang Dong had also woken up. His handsome face was full of fatigue, and he didn't get enough rest. You didn't sleep well? Huo Yuhao asked in surprise. He saw Wang Dong lying on the bed and fell asleep early last night. What are you going to do? Wang Dong asked expressionlessly. Going to make some money. What's wrong? I'll go with you. Wang Dong quickly washed up and looked much more energetic. He followed Huo Yuhao out of the dormitory. Why are you going with me? As a rich man, do you still want to see how I make money and experience the hardships of life? Huo Yuhao asked curiously. After a night, Wang Dong was still a little awkward and said, I just want to go. The two of them left the freshman dormitory one after the other. Huo Yuhao saw Tanya standing in front of them with a beautiful girl in a purple school uniform. Seeing the girl, Huo Yuhao unconsciously showed a gentle smile. It's Sister Nannan. Chapter 27 Goodbye Jiang Nannan. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Huo Yuhao hadn't seen Jiang Nannan for 2 or 3 years, but he still remembered that the young girl's face was full of anxiety and helplessness when they first met, so Huo Yuhao helped the girl. After curing the girl's mother, Huo Yuhao was quite surprised to learn that the girl was Jiang Nannan, but he was also very happy to change Jiang Nannan's fate in the original book. At that time, the girl was already a beauty, but he didn't expect to see her again today. The grown-up girl has become so beautiful. At this time, Jiang Nannan has a slender and well-proportioned figure, with long golden hair in big waves behind her head, skin whiter than snow, eyes like a pool of clear water, and when she looks around, she has a kind of elegant and noble temperament. Her face is like jade, like a new moon with a halo, like a flower tree piled with snow, tender and graceful, charming in language, delicate and graceful, beautiful beyond description. That stunning appearance seems to dim all the colors around. Although Tanya's face is not as beautiful as Jiang Nannan's, she is still youthful and beautiful, and her lively and playful temperament has a unique flavor. The students passing by all looked at the two stunning girls unconsciously, admiring this beautiful scenery. Wang Dong saw Huo Yuhao staring at the two seniors in front of him, and he was immediately furious. He didn't stare at me like this yesterday. Wang Dong snorted coldly, and his white and tender hands touched Huo Yuhao's waist and twisted it hard. Hey, what are you doing? Huo Yuhao quickly slapped Wang Dong's palm away, rubbing his waist and staring at Wang Dong. Lecher, your eyes are almost touching it. Wang Dong said coldly with a frosty face. Huo Yuhao said unhappily, that's someone I know. I haven't seen him for many years. He has changed a lot. What's wrong with me taking a closer look? After saying that, Huo Yuhao turned his head and walked towards Tanya and Jiang Nannan. Sister Xiaoya, Sister Nannan, this way. Tanya and Jiang Nannan looked in the direction of the voice. Jiang Nannan was distracted when she saw the familiar face, and murmured, Yuhao. Tanya waved her hand enthusiastically. Xiao Yuhao, come on, we have been waiting for you for a long time. Let me tell you, it is not a good habit to let girls wait. Come on, Sister Xiaoya, I have brought the most beautiful girl in the outer courtyard of Shrek Academy here today. I will introduce her to you. Jiang Nannan hurriedly stopped Xiaoya with a blushing face. What is the most beautiful girl in the outer courtyard of Shrek Academy? Jiang Nannan felt very ashamed when she thought of such a title being heard by Yuhao. He would definitely tease me. Sister Xiaoya, no need to introduce. Sister Nannan and I have known each other for a long time. Huo Yuhao looked at Jiang Nannan with a soft look, and said with a little emotion, Sister Nannan, long time no see. Jiang Nannan also stared at the boy in front of her who was taller than her, thinking back to the past. It was this boy, who was still young and tender at the time, who was like a god, guiding her to save her mother when she was about to go to the end of her life. The boy behaved like a little adult, mature and reliable, and now he looked even more lovely. After her mother was cured, she learned that the other party was also looking for a way to save her mother, so she resolutely decided to follow and protect the boy until he found a way to save his mother. The two had been separated for 2 or 3 years, but in her heart, it seemed like yesterday. Everything was vivid in her mind during the time she spent with the boy. Jiang Nannan unconsciously rushed to Huo Yuhao, hugged the boy tightly, breathed in the familiar smell of the boy, and murmured, long time no see, Yuhao. Huo Yuhao embraced the girl, patted her back gently, and waited quietly for the girl to calm down slowly. Jiang Nannan was also special to Huo Yuhao. In the 11 years after crossing, besides her mother, it was this girl who accompanied her the most. She and him traveled around for nearly a year for her mother's affairs. The two spent day and night together, and their feelings had long been different. What's more, the girl had saved his life. Tanya looked at the two people hugging each other, and suddenly felt a little bit at a loss, and even she deliberately ignored it, a little bit of loss and bitterness. When did these two people hook up? How come I don't know? Also, Su Sancher seems to be pursuing Nannan recently, so Yuhao has to be careful. Tanya was thinking wildly in her heart. Wang Dong was the same. Looking at the two people hugging each other, Wang Dong didn't know why he felt a little bitter and uncomfortable. He had a girlfriend, but he still treated her like that, saying that women's clothes can only be seen by him and he will never wear them for him again. Wang Dong fiercely said, scumbag. Indeed, Tanya subconsciously agreed. Tanya looked in the direction where the voice came from, wondering who actually resonated with her so much. It shouldn't be right. Did Xiao Yuhao provoke another girl from somewhere? Seeing that it was the handsome boy who came with Xiao Yuhao, Tanya was suddenly a little strange. Seeing the grievance, bitterness, loss and anger in the other's eyes like a pie chart, Tanya couldn't help but shudder, and all the bitterness in her heart disappeared. It's bad, Xiao Yuhao won't really go astray, right? Although the other party is very handsome, even Bebe is far inferior, but he is a man. Xiaoya considered whether she should let Xiao Yuhao take advantage of her more in the future, let him feel the beauty of a girl, and then return to the right path. But it seems that she doesn't need to play. She can tell Nannan, let Nannan save Xiao Yuhao who has lost his way. The guilt in her heart for Bebe made Tanya decide not to play in person. As for the last experience, Tanya had already prepared herself mentally. She and brother Yuhao just held hands. How can it be considered sorry to Bebe? He is just her stinky brother, nothing more. Feeling that the girl's emotions finally calmed down, and seeing that the surroundings were gradually surrounded by students, Huo Yuhao reached out and let go of Jiang Nannan, turned the girl's round shoulders, and said in a gentle voice, Sister Nannan, let's leave first and talk later, otherwise we will be blocked by the onlookers in a while. Jiang Nannan saw the crowded classmates around, including her friends, and her face couldn't help but flush. The girl nodded quickly and reached out to pull Huo Yuhao's hand and leave. Huo Yuhao would now pay special attention to the succubus body, avoiding Jiang Nannan's bare hands, and instead pulled up the girl's sleeves, looking at Xiaoya and Wang Dong on the side, and said, Sister Xiaoya, Wang Dong, let's leave here first and I will tell you about me and Sister Nannan, otherwise the classmates will block us and I'm afraid something will happen. Then let's go. Tanya said excitedly, a little impatient. She felt that there must be something going on between the two of them, and she couldn't help but gossip. Wang Dong turned away, but couldn't help but follow Huo Yuhao and the others. This was a kind of hypocrisy. After Huo Yuhao and the others left, the crowd of onlookers suddenly became noisy. Bad news. Jiang Nannan, the most beautiful girl in the outer courtyard, was taken by the freshman junior. Quickly spread the word. Quick, spread the word to Brother Su, and ask him to come quickly. If he doesn't come, the future sister-in-law will be gone, and she ran away with someone. Quickly spread the word to Senior Bebe. Senior Xiaoya also ran away with the junior. This person was a person who liked to watch the fun and didn't mind making trouble. This is not right, Senior Xiaoya was clearly just watching from the side. Someone questioned. Just spread it when I tell you to, and you can't go wrong if you listen to me. The person said stubbornly. Quickly spread it, the most handsome freshman was also taken by that junior. Some girls added fuel to the fire. For a while, the entire Shrek outer courtyard was very lively. Chapter 28 3 Women and a Drama. You are listening at novelfull.audio. A group of 4 people left the academy. Tanya held Jiang Nannan's arms with both hands, and her eyes were full of curiosity, looking at Huo Yuhao for a while and Jiang Nannan for a while. Xiao Yuhao, I didn't expect you to be the one who captured the heart of our Nannan. Before, Nannan told me that she had someone she liked. I still didn't believe it. I didn't expect it to be you. That when Jiang Nannan heard that Xiaoya told Huo Yuhao what she had been hiding, her face was immediately filled with red clouds. She quickly scratched Tanya to stop Tanya from continuing to say anything private between them. Her watery eyes quietly turned to Huo Yuhao's face and saw that the young man was looking at her with a smile. His eyes immediately moved to Tanya with a look of anger. Hurry up, hurry up. Tell me about you and Nannan, I want to hear it. Tanya started to change the topic with a smile to relieve her best friend's shyness. Wang Dong'er followed Huo Yuhao and watched the interaction between the 3 of them with cold eyes. She was the only one who seemed to be an irrelevant person and had difficulty integrating into their small circle. It was clearly an event between 4 people, so why was it that I was the only one who didn't have a line? Wang Dong'er felt even more uncomfortable and sour. It was still the familiar streets of Shrek City. Yesterday Huo Yuhao walked with her alone, but today there were 2 more with her. Yesterday, I was still shouting, but today, the new generation is better than the old one. Well, the old generation is better than the new one, and they don't even look at me. Her nose seemed to be blocked by something. Wang Dong'er felt tears welling up in her eyes. She turned her head and pretended to be looking at the scenery on the street, squeezing back the tears bit by bit. She couldn't cry. In this world, there was only the principle of only hearing the laughter of the new people, but not the tears of the old people. There was no reason for her to do the opposite, and she only heard the laughter of the old people, and never heard the tears of the new people. Wang Dong'er held back her tears, but quietly raised her ears, ready to listen to what happened between Huo Yuhao and that vixen Jiang Nannan. She decided to get to know each other first, and then wait for an opportunity to reveal the true face of Huo Yuhao, a scumbag, so that the other party would not be deceived by him. Even if she is a vixen, Wang Dong'er feels that she is smart and upright and has an obligation to save her from that bastard's murderous hands, definitely not because of anything else. Absolutely not. So true. Huo Yuhao turned his head slightly and used his peripheral vision to pay attention to Wang Dong'er, who was unknowingly half a step behind. When he saw the other person's pitiful look with tears in his eyes, he glared at him with resentment flashing in his eyes from time to time. But she followed him honestly step by step, her 2 white and red ears twitching slightly, obviously listening to their conversation. Huo Yuhao felt that Wang Dong'er looked very cute like this. I still remember that it was a spring morning. I was looking for a way to cure my mother all over the world and met Sister Nannan who was trying her best to cure her mother. The gears of fate were turning at this moment. While Huo Yuhao was talking about some past events, he reached out and grabbed Wang Dong's forearm through his clothes, pulling Wang Dong to his side. Wang Dong found that his forearm was tightly grasped by Huo Yuhao, and his whole body was pulled to his side. Wang Dong shook his arms angrily, trying to break away from Huo Yuhao's strong and hot palm, but in vain. Wang Dong's face was swollen with anger, and he turned his head away from Huo Yuhao. Most of the sourness in his eyes and the alienation in his heart disappeared unconsciously. while Tanya listened to Huo Yuhao's narration, she quietly watched the interaction between the two and remembered it in her heart, feeling something bad in her heart. These two people looked like an at odds couple. Xiao Yuhao, you are confused. How can you like a boy? Where do you put Nannan in this way? Where do you put me? Putting Bebe in, well, this doesn't count. In short, Tanya felt that she should let Nannan pull Xiao Yuhao back to the right path as soon as possible. She really had no choice but to sacrifice something, just to repay Xiao Yuhao for pointing out the direction of soul ring selection for her. Huo Yuhao continued to talk. When I traveled around, I also visited many famous doctors that I could see. I accompanied Sister Nannan and her mother to visit those famous doctors who had real skills. After curing my aunt's disease, I left. Sister Nannan caught up with me after my mother's condition improved, and wanted to repay her kindness by protecting me all the way. I remember that I happened to be robbed when Sister Nannan caught up with me, and Sister Nannan appeared in time to save my life. Jiang Nannan listened quietly to Huo Yuhao's story, recalling the details at that time from time to time, with a happy smile on her face. We got along on and off for almost a year. Finally, we said goodbye to each other after I found a way to save my mother. Sister Nannan told me that she was coming to Shrek Academy, so I came to see her right now. After Huo Yuhao finished speaking, he let out a breath and revealed a little bit of his inner thoughts. He felt much more relaxed. He looked at Jiang Nannan, who was listening quietly to him, and asked. Sister Nannan, how is Auntie's health now? I haven't visited Auntie in the past 2 years. I will go with you to visit Auntie after the holiday. My mother's health has improved since she recovered. And I am now enrolled in Shrek Academy. My neighbors in the village will take care of some mothers when I am away. Yuhao, how is Aunt Huo's health? Has she recovered? Jiang Nannan said with concern. Huo Yuhao had not contacted her since he found the treatment. She did not know the situation of Huo Yuhao's mother. When Tanya heard Jiang Nannan's inquiry, she suddenly remembered what Huo Yuhao said last time in the Star Forest, that he was the only one at home. Could it be that Xiao Yuhao's mother was not cured after all? Xiao Yuhao had been running around for 2 or 3 years for this, and you have to know that he was only an 8 or 9-year-old child at that time. Tanya's eyes flashed with distress. Just as Xiao Yuhao said, the two of them were really the same people who were lost in the world, and now they were both orphans. My mother passed away. It was not because of illness, but some other reasons. Huo Yuhao said in a calm tone, and there was no trace of ripples in his calm eyes. He didn't want to tell people more about his mother's death. He didn't want to let others take care of the hatred. He just wanted to make the people of the White Tiger Duke's mansion pay back every inch of blood and every inch of hatred. Yuhao. Jiang Nannan looked at the boy with a deep abyss in his eyes with some worry and distress. She was familiar with Huo Yuhao's past and could feel the depression and hatred in his heart. She hoped that Huo Yuhao could rely on her more. She was willing to help him and hoped to help him. Tanya felt that she understood Huo Yuhao, but she, who also shouldered the hatred of killing her father and mother, didn't want this understanding. They are both orphans. It turns out that he and Xiao Yuhao are not only orphans, but their parents were also killed, and they both have a blood feud to avenge. The darkness in Tanya's eyes flashed. Why are those evil people living better and better, while she and Xiao Yuhao can only struggle hard, trying their best and at all costs to make the murderer pay for his blood debt? Wang Dong'er quietly put his other hand on Huo Yuhao's arm, hoping to give her some comfort. She didn't expect Huo Yuhao to have such a past. Compared to him, she is really too happy. Well, in the future, treat him better. Even if he wants to see his daughter dress up, as long as he asks a few more times, occasionally satisfy him. The people with different thoughts fell silent and walked aimlessly towards the center of Shrek City. Huo Yuhao was the first to break the silence. He smiled again. Why are you silent? Sister Xiaoya, have you forgotten the purpose of our trip today? If you don't bring me, I will be cheated in Shrek City where I am unfamiliar with the place. Tanya glanced at Huo Yuhao and said to liven up the atmosphere, you are so cunning, you are the only one who can cheat others, how can others cheat you? Huo Yuhao said innocently, Sister Xiaoya, don't slander me, I never lie to anyone. Wang Dong. Chapter 29 The Recipe Can't Be Sold. You are listening at novelfull.audio. This is it. This is the largest restaurant in Shrek City. It is said that the chefs here are food-based soul masters, and every ingredient is selected from the essence of soul beasts. Let's take a look at this restaurant first, and then go check out other places and do some shopping. Tanya pointed to a restaurant ahead with about 6 or 7 floors. Huo Yuhao looked around and saw that the restaurant was classically decorated, with numerous pavilions at various heights, cornices, red doors, green tiles, and carved beams and painted pillars. The banquet in the building was magnificent, with bright candlelight and mellow aroma. Huo Yuhao took Jiang, Nannan and the others into the restaurant and sat down in a booth. Huo Yuhao looked at the dishes on the menu and then started to order. Tanya asked strangely, Xiao Yuhao, aren't we here to sell recipes? Why did you start ordering? We can't afford a meal here. Huo Yuhao explained, selling recipes must be discussed with their boss. The 4 of us are just students. Do you think we can easily meet the boss of such a big restaurant? Huo Yuhao then sighed again and said, I'm afraid it's not easy to sell recipes here. Take a look at their menu. The dishes above are all made from the best soul beast essence. Here, you can eat it's not only delicious, but also nutritious. The ingredients used in my recipes are all ordinary ingredients, and the best is just century-old soul beast meat. No matter how delicious it is, it won't be sold if it conflicts with the positioning of their restaurant. Tanya nodded and said worriedly, Indeed, I won't buy it. So we can't sell recipes in this store. Then let's leave quickly and go to some ordinary restaurants. Huo Yuhao shook his head, let's take a look at this one first. Ordinary restaurants can't offer good prices, but this one, looking at the prices of the dishes on the menu, they will offer low prices for the recipes that can be added to their menu. Huo Yuhao saw that the cheapest dish on the menu cost hundreds of gold soul coins, and he couldn't help but feel a little emotional. He was almost used to living in poverty when he traveled back in time. When Jiang Nannan saw the prices on the menu, she always realized the unevenness of life. She is the poorest person in Shrek Academy. The money she has spent so far is not as much as the price of the above dish. Jiang Nannan was speechless. She believed that Huo Yuhao had his own considerations. To her, he had always been reliable. Wang Dong couldn't help but said, but didn't you say that this restaurant won't sell your recipes? Wang Dong didn't think the prices on the menu were expensive. The ingredients used by others were parts of 1,000-year-old soul beasts. At this price, it could only be said to be value for money. Now she was only curious about how Huo Yuhao could sell the recipe to this store. Huo Yuhao said calmly, they really won't buy the current recipes, and I didn't say I would sell them. Let's have a meal here first and taste their food. By the way, maybe we can talk about other business? Huo Yuhao said meaningfully. Do you have money? Wang Dong asked. If you beg me, I can't treat you to this meal. Wang Dong smiled broadly. She felt that she could finally make this guy bow to her for once, and she felt relieved. Huo Yuhao glanced at Wang Dong helplessly and sighed, why spend money when you can have a free meal? Wang Dong opened his eyes wide, do you want to eat the king's meal? Didn't you see it? There was a sign in the lobby when you entered. It said that as long as someone can make food more delicious than their restaurant, they can get a free meal. Huo Yuhao said. Are you sure your cooking skills are that good? Wang Dong was a little doubtful. She had never tasted the food cooked by Huo Yuhao. You have to know that the chefs here are at least soul kings in the food department. They are all very sensitive to the color, smell and taste of food, and their cooking is also top-notch. Do you think you can beat them? Huo Yuhao didn't know how good these people's cooking skills were, but he felt that as long as they were human, no matter how good their cooking skills were, he could pick out the thorns under mental detection. As long as he could pick out the thorns, he could interfere with his soul. It will infinitely magnify the taster's sense of that little flaw. In this way, no matter how delicious the meal is, it will fail because of this flaw. Therefore, Huo Yuhao said with confidence, don't worry, my cooking skills are definitely very good. Sister Tanya can testify to that. Tanya nodded in affirmation. While chatting, delicious food was served one after another. Huo Yuhao first used a mental detector to detect it, and then tasted it briefly. He had an idea and felt that there was no need for him to interfere with his soul. Huo Yuhao waved to the waiter and said, "Can your chef come over? The dishes in your store are not to our taste. It can only be said that such good ingredients are wasted." The waiter glared angrily, but still behaved and went to find the chef. Wang Dong and the others were a little confused. "What do you want to do again?" Huo Yuhao said. "Since we are going to make food that is more delicious than the food in their restaurant, of course we must first comment on the food in their restaurant and point out their shortcomings. This will make it easier to win. Moreover, if I add these point out all the shortcomings of the food, maybe you can lead to the owner of this restaurant." Tanya's mouth twitched and she said, "Aren't you afraid of getting beaten for doing this?" Huo Yuhao smiled and said, "Why do you think this store posted a notice saying that if your cooking skills are better than theirs, you will be exempted from the order? It can be seen that they are not afraid of challenges and criticisms from others, but welcome people to challenge them." Tanya nodded thoughtfully. Huo Yuhao continued, "Of course, this is my guess, and there is no guarantee that it is correct. But even if they don't mean it, we don't have to be afraid. Let's not talk about this being Shrek City. We are all students of Shrek Academy. With Wang Dong, we can be safe." Wang Dong glared at Huo Yuhao. Tanya asked, "Does Wang Dong have a high status?" "Her." Huo Yuhao looked at Wang Dong, asking if he could say it. Wang Dong glanced at Huo Yuhao and said, "I am the young master of Haotian sect." Young master of Haotian sect. Hearing this, Tanya took a deep look at Wang Dong and stopped talking. She still had some resentment towards Haotian sect. "Hello, guest. Are these dishes from us not to your liking?" That a middle-aged man in a chef's uniform and a chef's hat, dressed neatly but with a smell of fireworks, knocked on the door of the compartment and walked in after Huo Yuhao and the others allowed him to. Huo Yuhao said, "There are indeed many that don't suit your taste." The middle-aged chef smiled and wanted to hear what Huo Yuhao had to say. "Let's talk about this imperial fried rice first. If I'm not mistaken, it should use the rice produced by the plant-based soul beast, the 1,000-year-old jade rice, the bird's nest of the 1,000-year-old golden swift, the abalone juice of the 1,000-year-old abalone, and several 100-year-old white jade shrimps, right?" That the middle-aged chef had put away his smile at this time. It was rare for a taster to taste 2 or 3 of the ingredients, but this boy could actually taste all the ingredients. The middle-aged chef was very surprised, but he didn't know that his surprise today was far more than that.